And who are you?
The Three Amigos!
All right. Well, tonight, instead of the Three Amigos, it's the Dos Hombres, because Marc's got some birthday celebrations going on this evening. So Mike, you did your first official live stream on your channel this week.
I did, and I'm still goofing around, as you have just. The reason why we are late, everyone, is because I started using my iPhone for my camera, and for some reason it is being most uncooperative. And so in the end, I just plugged back in the old phone that I used to use. And so that delayed the start. Aaron was ready. He was sitting there like for 10 minutes trying to talk me through how to debug this phone. And no matter what we did, it didn't work. So anyway, here we are.
So your live stream that you did with Marc was fantastic. I loved how you weren't sure if anybody was going to show up for the live stream.
That's exactly right.
And how many people did you end up having watching live? Do you remember what the high mark was?
No, I didn't look, Aaron. I'm so like, wait a minute. I'm trying to figure out what am I supposed to be doing over here. I have to click on this. So I don't really know, but I know that it's had a lot of views since yesterday.
That's what I was going to say. The freaking thing's got like 17,000 views. And I was watching. I know you were over 1,200 live, and considering what your subscribers are up to, like 14,000. So,
right.
10%, over 10% of your subscriber base was watching live. And that's with no notice whatsoever. Like, it really is incredible.
Yeah, it was very encouraging. Let me say that.
Yeah. And so is Christy, by the way, for everyone watching, as soon as we finish this stream, which is going to end at 7:30, we're going to do a short one on this channel. It's going to auto redirect us over to Mike's channel, and we're going to finish the stream over there. Is Christy going to help you on the back end with any starring of comments, or are we just going to do it?
She is going to help me, but we didn't get it organized to help you.
Oh, no, no. I don't need the help on that.
I figured you probably didn't, because you didn't ask. But yeah, she spoke to Claire, and we had Claire on the phone, and Claire was trying to explain to her, okay, this is how you do it. And then I was trying to show her, but I'm not the king of this yet. I'll get there.
Yeah, you'll get there. Okay, cool. Well, I'll tell you what, people aren't used to doing such a short stream. So let's just jump right into these questions.
Okay.
And we'll tackle them so that we don't leave anybody hanging. Okay, we have Celeste Commodore. I'll have to see the answer to this on the replay, but how does Scientology get around labor laws in Canada? They can't be volunteers since Scientology isn't a charity and they get paid. What do you think, Mike?
I actually don't know the answer to that. If that's true, that they can't be volunteers because they're not a charity, I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea, but they've got some workaround, believe me, because they are not paying minimum wage to any staff members in the orgs in Canada. They don't even have that amount of money, even if they wanted to pay them, but they don't want to pay them anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah, I got the same question on, I think, on my Friday Q&A. There's an assumption here that we're taking at face value, which is you have to be a registered charity in order for somebody to work for you as a volunteer. And that may not be true. All we do know is that Scientology ain't paying its Sea Org members and staff members any differently in Canada than they are in the United States.
That is a guarantee.
Right. Okay, so next one from Anthony Spurgeon. Will we ever see Miscavige in cuffs? What do you think? Will we ever? What do you think? What, like,
I don't think that he's ever going to be prosecuted criminally for crimes that could end him up in jail. I think that more likely they will be, the quasi-civil violations like tax code violations and that sort of stuff, not necessarily handcuff material, but certainly, an end to the good life as he knows it.
Yeah, Absolutely. Okay, Donna N. My copy of Mike's book arrived today, and I'm so excited. Thanks to Mike, Mark, and Aaron for all that you do to help and educate people. Well, awesome. Do you remember? Was that a personalized, autographed?
Donna,
Um,
I don't remember. I mean, there's been a lot of those, a lot. The only one actually I remember is a woman in Ballarat, Victoria, who I went, oh my, someone from Ballarat, Victoria. Like nobody has ever heard of this place outside of people in Australia, and she, I drove through there many times when I was a kid. So
wow. Wow. How much was shipping to Australia?
oh, like $39 or something. Like I just put a number on shipping. I put $25 outside of the US. Well, getting it to Canada is like 23. Australia is 39
I
and
see.
Europe is, 37 or something. I don't know. Anyway,
Wow. 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 Okay, let's see. We have Kat, AC/DC fan. Hello, Kat. I remember you. Aaron, have you heard Hogan will be signing autographs March 18th at his Clearwater Beach shop? Maybe you could get him to sign some SP merch. Well, I don't know if you guys realize this. Hulk Hogan does not sign autographs for free. In fact, he charges quite a bit of money for autographs.
oh really?
He does. It's like at least $100 for an autograph, even for kids. It's one thing that really rubs people the wrong way on the beach, but he does have a merch shop right there, and that's what it's there for. It's a moneymaker. I mean, it's a serious moneymaker. Okay, Amy D, greetings from rainy California. Do you know if there's been any threats or attempts to the lives of LRH or DM? Was that ever a thing with LRH?
Not that I am familiar with.
It
No.
would have been harder back then to make a threat on someone's life. Like, what would you
Right.
send him a letter? Now with Miscavige, he takes any slightest threat online as a threat against his life.
Right. Yeah, you have to be careful when you're tweeting and saying, this guy, someone should run over this guy with a truck, because that suddenly turns into, he's had death threats, all stirred up by Aaron Smith-Levin, Mike Rinder, and Leah Remini, who are hate mongers that are causing threats against Scientology.
Yeah.
He got a guy arrested. Keith Henson got arrested literally for having put on the internet that he wished that he had a rocket that he could fire through Miscavige's office window. Words like that. He got arrested, put in prison, and prosecuted for and it was even, I think, classified as a hate crime in Riverside County.
Wow. Like what year around?
A 95 or something, 96, somewhere around there.
Wow.
Yep. I mean, and it was a stupid joke, but unfortunately for Keith, he happened to have been involved in some rocket program and was a researcher who had so this story was spun that this guy actually could build a rocket and fire it through the window because of his history working on rockets somewhere.
Oh my God. That's crazy. All right. Joanna Valentine. Had anyone from LRH's past ever tried to come forward to refute any of his claims or lies? That's interesting.
Well, his son did.
Yeah.
Like his son did big time. L. Ron Hubbard Jr., big time. He came out and said that Hubbard was, all of the stuff, history of man was all when he was on amphetamines and uppers and downers, and that he just made it all up, and like a lot of stuff from him. There are other people, sort of more obscure, who have come forward and said, well, he says that he did X, Y, and Z on this ship in the Navy, and, I was one of the crew members, and that didn't happen. But I don't know too much else that anybody has come forward with.
Yeah. All right. Jerry Nodine, a.k.a. Sarasota Jerry. Aaron, have they started building that amphitheater in Clearwater? That must really frost DM. Oh, yeah. Not only have they started building it, it's almost done.
And not only that, it's facing the sandcastle.
Yeah. Yeah. Once that thing opens, it'll be very difficult to use the sandcastle as an advanced org. Those auditing rooms are not all completely soundproof. And forget the auditing rooms. The hotel rooms where people are supposed to do their solo sessions are nowhere close to soundproof.
Right.
And I do believe they're trying to build another advanced org north of the sandcastle, and they're going to revert the sandcastle back to purely hotel use. But that Scientology hasn't broken ground on some new advanced org, so I honestly don't know what they're going to do. Right. Hey, if you're a Scientologist under the radar in the Clearwater area, I'm dying to know the skinny. What are they saying inside the bubble about the sandcastle? What's going to happen when they open that concert hall and any new advanced org? Hit me up at growingupinscientology@gmail.com. Clearwater Chad, it's 43 and cloudy in Colorado where Marc lives. That is another reason for him to move to beautiful Clearwater, Florida. I got to tell you, I'm more likely to move to Colorado than those guys are likely to move to Clearwater.
Yep.
My girls would kill to have 4 seasons. Okay, let's see. Looking for the next one. All right, let's see what we got here. In Allison's Wonderland, have you ever worried that the people who contact the Aftermath Foundation are actually sent by Scientology as a fact-finding mission? We sort of assume from the get-go that that's going to happen. We don't worry about it. When someone contacts the foundation, it's not like we divulge information to them.
Right.
They divulge information to us.
Right.
So we have plenty of safeguards in place for that. Thank you for the question. I guess your name isn't necessarily Allison, but thank you for the question. Okay. Fat Cat's Heaven. Is it possible to be a downstat nattering theta weedy and theta out 2D DB SP crim squirrel with HE and R all at once? That's an expert use of the terminology. That's a good one. And yes, you can be all of that all at once. That's actually a perfect description of David Miscavige. So
and yeah, and in fact, when you become the target of the ethics officer in Scientology, pretty much they do throw the whole book at you. So you're not just an SP, you're also a DB, you're also an apostate, you're also out 2D, you're also like they just keep adding on. It's like the rows of ribbons that Miscavige wears on his captain's uniform. It's just like you qualify for everything.
That's right. Okay, Denise Locker. Did you know each other in Scientology? How did you meet and what did you think of them? Well, that's a 3-parter, Denise.
Yeah.
Everybody knew Mike Rinder in Scientology, but I didn't know Mike personally. I mean, Mike was a celebrity in Scientology. It'd be like asking someone at Tesla if they knew Elon Musk. But no, I didn't meet Mike until we were both out of Scientology. I was only half out, and we had a secret meeting at a Costco in the produce section.
Yeah, but before that, we stood alongside each other at the urinal.
Oh, yeah. What restaurant was that? Island Way?
That was Island Way Grill.
Yes. Oh my God, I totally forgot about
Our
that.
first meeting.
That
they
was
should have had that
right?
They should have made that meme, not me and Tony Ortega, but me and you at the urinal. Would have been more accurate.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That is so funny. But you and Marc Headley did know each other.
Oh,
but
yeah, very well.
How much, but did you actually interact much? Like how was that?
Pretty much with Marc, because I did events and Marc was in the Cine division of Gold. So he did events. And I also interacted a lot with Claire. And yes, I knew them both like pretty well.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Denver Stevo, a frequent flyer. Mike, looking good in 1080p. Question for you. How fast can you turn around and find the following 3 books? Troublemaker, Blown for Good, anything about Stanley Tucci. What's with the Stanley Tucci?
Well, Stanley Tucci, one of my favorite actors, and I love his show. He wrote a book that was edited by my editor at Simon & Schuster.
Oh.
So I have his book here because my editor gave it to me. And like I could find those two real quick, but if I turn around, my headphones come out. That's it. They're right there. Believe me,
right there.
they're right there. Like there is virtually every book that has been written about Scientology I have, including the books written by L. Ron Hubbard and the tech vols and the OEC vols and the R&D vols and the LRHED vols and everything. I've got a bigger library of Scientology materials than all Scientology organizations have.
I was just going to say you're more on source than any ideal org in the world because they don't even have the tech vols.
Right. That's true. Or the OEC.
You have the LRHED packets? Oh, so you can turn around. You can reach it.
I can reach the ones on the bottom.
Look at that. I bet there's staff members who've never seen those in their entire lives.
Right, probably. Oh, look at this. Oh, wait, where's the camera?
Oh my God, the ethics specialist course. How about that? The solo auditor course. That's the pre-GAT version, I think, or maybe the GAT version. I can't tell. Oh, old school PTSSP. Man, we could open up a Scientology mission with all your materials.
Oh, yeah. And I've got some doozies here.
We could probably make more money than the Tampa org is making these days.
Look at this one. This one's like from the 70s
Oh my
or something.
God, I can't believe. Look at that. Wow.
Oh, Aaron, like you want to do? Look at this. The old What is Scientology book.
This camera can't see it. Holy crap. Wow.
The new What is Scientology book, all versions. Someone sent me this incredible book the other day. This book is called...
You have the second dynamic book. You can't even get that book in Scientology anymore.
I know. Written by, compiled by...
What does it say?
Cass Paul.
Wow.
Cass Warner.
What? Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Anyway, I've got you know, everybody's book, Headley's book, Leah's book, ATEC's book,
Very
Amy's
cool.
book. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. Kat and Maggie. Hello, Kat and Maggie. I remember you. Tech issues at the start. Nobody's perfect. We can try. Mike's close, but he's not quite there. What's the funniest mannerism that Miscavige had? Something that forced you to suppress giggles. Also, I'm loving your channel so far, Mike.
Okay. What's the funniest mannerism? Honestly, it's the way he walks. Aaron, have you ever seen how he walks?
Only on stage. I've never seen him actually
But
walk.
he walks and he's got this this sort of like I'm trying to keep something still between my butt cheeks walk.
And it's got to be fun seeing he's so small.
And he's what do you call that? Splay-footed, like feet out, not in. That's pigeon-toed.
Goose.
The opposite of pigeon-toed. His feet are out like that. So he has a very, very distinctive and very odd walk. If you go back and look at some of those videos from the events, like particularly go watch the Turning Point event, the IRS one where he has to walk like 4 miles across the stage to get to the little podium. You watch him walk across there and tell me that you don't find it funny. Oh,
I'm gonna have to find it, and I'm gonna have to do its own video of
Miscavige
duck walking to the Fourth Reich podium. Scientology's the Fourth Reich. I'm gonna call it. How about that? By the way, is Shelley meaningfully taller than Dave, or are they about the same size?
About the same.
Interesting. Okay, let's see. Keith Dossett. Any thoughts on MK Ultra being a 60s CIA mind control program, and the whole being the name of the Buchenwald torture chamber?
Never heard of that.
So MK Ultra, I thought was a 60s CIA mind control program. I mean, not really in question. Okay, so we both have no comment. Sorry, Keith. Okay, Jude Morrow. I'm researching and writing a book about Heber, and a name keeps popping up. Dan Polk, former Apollo crew, OT8. LRH seemed very fond of him. He seems expunged from Scientology history. Do either of you know him?
No, never. I've never heard that name. I
Wow.
mean, he has really been expunged if he was an OT8, because I've not heard of him. And OT8s are not like 60s and 70s era people. They are 80s era people.
Now I'm dying to know what material you're finding Dan Polk popping up in.
Right, because Heber was in the Sea Org at that point, from 1988 when OT8 was released all the way to present. And, you know, I knew a lot and worked a lot with Heber. He was my direct junior for many, many years. I've never heard that name.
Fantastic. Okay, so Simone Ferran. Hey, Aaron and Mike, love your lives. Oh, love your lives. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. I love my life and my lives. So.
And my lives. Exactly.
Theta Bob, caught your Lex interview yesterday, Aaron. It was great. Very impressed with Lex too. I think he's going to want to interview Mike next. I hope so. That would be so much fun. So much fun.
That was an amazing interview. I told you already, Aaron. You did a wonderful job. You were very, very, like you usually are, sincere and believable and knowledgeable. And he is like the perfect person to do an interview about Scientology, because he actually seeks to understand things and gets himself prepared beforehand, so he knows what he's talking about a bit. I too was very impressed.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Brad Reed, Lex Friedman podcast was awesome, Aaron. Thank you, Brad. Thank you very much. I'll tell you, he's catching a little bit of shit in the comments for asking me to take Scientology seriously and take the concept seriously. And I feel like there's been a slight misunderstanding. Like, I think Lex was sensitive to not wanting to do a video about a subject just to make it seem like he was holding it up to ridicule. Lex is an academic, but you guys know me. Part of my I have fun ridiculing Scientology, but I can do that. I think Lex wasn't saying, Aaron, you need to take Scientology seriously, but almost, for this conversation, can you take it a little more seriously?
Right.
Is how, and for everyone's benefit, the interview was actually even much better than the final edit made it seem. We were much more friendly and laughing and back and forth. The way it was edited, it's a bit dry. It seems a bit severe. We were having a lot of fun in that interview.
Right.
You can't quite tell based on the final edit. Okay, let's see here. Let's keep the videos coming, guys. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. M. Adams would love a story about catching Scientology OSA trying to fair game the Aftermath Foundation. There actually is some good stories on that.
Yeah, there is.
If there are a lot, it would make a funny, great video series. Love your
You
work,
know what,
guys.
Aaron? Let's actually schedule to do an Aftermath fair game episode with you, me, and Marc, and maybe even Claire. Like let's tell some of the stories about some of the stuff that has gone down.
That's a great idea. We can even do it tomorrow, and we'll do it on your channel. Okay. Hi, Aaron and Mike. I listened to Mike's book on Audible and cannot find how to find Guillaume Leserve. What's the way his name is written?
GuillaumeLeSevre.
Lesevre is how it's actually spelled. It looks like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Fantastic.
It's
by the way, Mike,
Leserve, RVE. It's VRE.
By the way, Mike, because we're redirecting to yours directly from mine.
Yeah.
It's not so important that we jump off immediately at 7:30. If we're a few minutes late, it's okay, because everyone's just going to be.
You're the boss.
Okay. John, Mike, you held some of the top posts in Scientology. Did you ever feel like a church leader, or did you always feel like a second fiddle?
Wow, what an interesting question. Well, I always felt like a second fiddle when Miscavige was around or in the room, but when he was not and I was interacting with people directly, yes, I definitely felt like I was a leader of Scientology.
That brings up a question I want to ask you. So,
Oh.
like,
But this isn't a super chat. How are you getting away with the question?
so like on the int base, Mark's made it clear because he was at gold, because of whatever. On the int base, Mark was not someone people were calling sir, but he would come down anywhere Mark traveled outside of the int base because he was from int. He was sir, 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 sir.
Yes.
Did you spend much time at the lower echelons where you were the big dog, or was most of your time spent up at int?
Most of my time was spent at int. And when I was at lower echelons, like at the FSO, I was there with Miscavige because it was during the McPherson case. So I was there with him. But prior to that, and I write about it quite a lot in my book, when I was the head of CMOCW, like I was the king of the flag land base. I answered only to my seniors at CMO International or to L. Ron Hubbard. I mean, he was still alive at that time, and I was the head of his organization at the flag land base. So, what I said, there wasn't anybody that could second guess me. There was no RTC at that time. I was like I was the big cheese.
Yeah.
And I was
wild.
21.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. Splinter Sloth. Are there gradations of PTS like DTS, definite trouble source? Because I would certainly qualify for that designation.
I like that. Well, there is various types of PTS.
Yeah.
PTS A through J.
Well, and you will hear people referred to
D
as like severely PTS, even though LRH never defined something like that.
Right.
Right.
or PTS type 3.
Yes. There's 1, 2, and 3, and there's A to J.
Right.
But it's not necessarily terms of severity. I've never even done a video about this subject. So by the way, type 1 is when you're actually PTS to something in your current environment, someone's suppressing you. Type 2 is when no one in your current environment is actually suppressing you, but they're stimulating a past life suppression. And type 3 is when literally everything in your environment is stimulating past life suppression. And that Scientologists call having a mental breakdown, like going crazy, going type 3.
Yeah. A psychotic episode is going type 3.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. We got another one here. M, the scrapbooker. It was very bold of DM demanding the court to rule on him not being served. It's not like the court doesn't have anything else better to do with their day.
Okay. Look, when that order came from the magistrate, I wrote on my blog and said, the next thing that Miscavige is going to do is he is going to appeal to the judge and say the magistrate got it wrong and that he doesn't have a hope in hell. It'll waste a bunch of time of the court, but that's a delay tactic. And a delay tactic in Scientology litigation, when they are the defendant, is part of the strategy that L. Ron Hubbard laid out of how you deal with litigation, which is to make it time-consuming and expensive for the dirty, rotten plaintiffs who have the balls to sue Scientology.
Exactly.
He doesn't expect to win that. Nah. I mean, he's telling the lawyers that they better damn well win it because they were so incompetent that they screwed up the first time and failed to make the right points and blah, blah, blah. But he knows that he ain't going to win that.
From Lauren S. Did Scientology ever push John Travolta to recruit Olivia Newton-John?
I assume so. I don't know, but I assume so.
If somebody were to be pressuring him, would that be from the president's office at Celebrity Center?
Yep. Or, if he happened to have come to Gold for some reason, Miscavige may have had dinner with him or lunch or something, but he didn't interact with John that much, particularly after Tom Cruise came around. Like
Mm.
Tom Cruise became good buddy number one, and John Travolta was like left in the Neverland of, yeah, you're not as big as he is, so I'm not really interested. But it would be Celebrity Center, certainly, because that was their thing. Like, they wanted more celebrities. That was what they were there for. So yeah, that would have been where it would have come from.
Very interesting. So, guys, I've been scrolling through the comments while Mike was giving that answer, and there's an unbelievable number of super chats that we couldn't possibly get to. So whether I stop now or whether I stop in 10 minutes, we ain't getting there. So I got to figure out how to handle this because I feel bad, guys. But there's nothing I can do. So as soon as I hit end on this live stream, we're going to redirect to Mike's stream. So stick around.
Well, wait, before you go, Aaron, what do I
Yeah.
need to do? Do I need to go over to mine now?
Yes. And did you already send me the link?
Yep. Earlier this afternoon.
Okay, good. Yeah. So Mike, on the bottom of this one, there's a little button that says leave studio.
Leave studio. Yeah.
And then just go to yours and we'll be right there.
Well, I'm bailing out now. Hopefully this will work out and I will show up somewhere else.
We'll see you in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Bye, everybody.